For more interesting videos, subscribe to Tech Simplified TV and hit the bell icon for updates.
Here we'll talk about the associative array. Associative array is another data structure. By array, if you recall that what you have learned array in C language, right? That is very similar to the list. But associative array is a kind of mapping. It is also called a hash table in some data structures or hash in some data structure. So associative array is a kind of hash table which uses the key value mapping pairs. Okay, so in this section we'll talk about the associative array. As usual, the pink box will contain the code, black one will the output. Let's begin our code. Here we are using the set command to create the associative array. Okay, so how we do? We write set, then the array name, then the index within the first bracket. Okay, and then we use the value. So here the index is rows and the value is red. So this way we keep on defining set color sky and the value is blue. Simply the middle is the key and the value is gold. Leaves is the key and the color is and the value is green. Blackboard is the key, the value is black. So now how we can access the array elements? Okay, for that we are using the for each loop. For each, then the element le, and then we use array, then names, then color. So this will give all the index values, that is rows, sky, middle, leaves and blackboard, okay, as a list. Okay, and from that list we are picking one by one, and we are directly using a rectangular bracket here for this purpose to generate the list. So array, names, then color. Okay, the keys are called names here. Okay, and we begin, we print out the $le is the element and its value is $color, then within first bracket is $le. So this way we will access the array elements, the values. Okay, and then we close the bracket. Once we execute the code, the outputs will come like leaves is green, blackboard is black, rose is red, middle is gold and sky is blue. So this is the way you create the associative array and you access the elements by the key value pair. Okay, using the for each loop. Okay, or if you want to access one particular element and its value, then there is no need of the for each. You have to know the key name and accordingly you have to give the value. Okay, and we are done with this particular section. Let's move on to the next one, array set and array get. These are another approach. Okay, let's see how we can use it. Here goes our code and here goes our output. We begin our code here and we are using array set command to define a associative array. Array set, and then we are writing the key and the value pair. Okay, so the key is rows and its corresponding value which is mapped to it is red. So similar way we keep on writing the other pairs. Okay, it is the same key value pair combination from the previous example, and here we are closing it with the curly bracket. So array set command can also be used, okay, to create. I have used multiple lines here, but still you can use it in a single line, there is no issue. And how we are accessing it, again we are using the for each loop. Okay, this time what we are doing, we are using the command array get. Okay, array get to generate a key value pair. Okay, and which we are actually catching in the obj and call variable. Okay, you can see for each, then obj and call are written in uh, curly bracket. Okay, so it's a list. So this pair will come into the object and call these two variables. An array get will pull out one key value pair at a time. Okay, and we echo them as previously we have echoed, and let's see the output. So it will board is black, leaf is green, rose red, middle is gold, and sky is blue. So this way we can use the array set and array get command for creation of a associative array and accessing its key value pairs. Okay, this is the another way. So let's go to the next section. Checking whether an array element exists. So any key value that inside the associative array, whether it exists or not. So here goes our code, here goes our output. Okay, start our code, and we create our array like array set, and we define the elements. Okay, and their values, key value pairs are defined like that. And now we are defining another list which is totally different. Okay, this list elements are defined by the list procedure, and you can see different colors are there. In the first associative array, there are 1 2 3 4 colors, and they have corresponding numerical values to them. But in the list, we have only name of the colors. Okay, and let's see, we will iterate over this particular list to find which one does exist in the above mentioned associative array and which one do not. So here we use the for each, and we use a variable called color, which shortened it as a call, and the list lst is there. So we start it, and here we are using another procedure, catch. Okay, it is from tickle, and it can catch the return value. Okay, so we are using another procedure called info exist. Okay, so we are using to check the key value pair. So dollar color count. Okay, and then the element dollar color. Okay, so it first it starts from the innermost one and comes to the outermost. Okay, so the info exit operate on this, and it will return a value, and that particular return value will be captured in the variable ret, which we are defining with the catch command. Okay, so if 0 equal to dollar rate, what will happen? Will echo it exists. So if a element exists or as a key in a particular array, the return value is 0. Else for any other values, it will echo not exist. Okay, and we close the if else loops here, conditions here, and we close the for each loop here, and let's execute this code. What happens? So it first is it is remember, it is iterating over the list. Okay, which we have separately done. So first it goes to red, it see it exists, and the corresponding value is 1. Green exists and corresponding value is 5. Yellow do not exist, so purple do not exist, and white it exists and whose value is 9. So here you can see how two different set of data are there. One is a list, another is a associative array, and we are checking whether elements of the list can be present or not present in the mentioned associative array. So one remark here, that we can use such kind of comparative data structure when we are iterating for a particular design for making it perfect or achieve our design goals. Okay, for eradicating errors. How? That we know that there are, say just for an example purpose, there are a 10 or 20 number of nets on which we are doing something, and each net has a corresponding value, say load or slew, something like that, and which is coming as an outcome. So we are iterating, and every time we will check on the 10 nets, those are defined in the list, and the values which are coming by other procedures or something, that are saved in the associative array. So every time we can go and check whether that exists. And when this data structure array is created, whichever particular net has been achieved the goal is getting excluded. So it will this particular case scenario, it will happen that you will get only the erroneous nets and their values. So this is just a typical example where you can use it, such comparative data structure. So let's move on to the next slide. We're done with this particular slide. So here we'll see how we can convert an array into list, or we do the reverse. Okay, let's begin. Here goes our code and here goes our output. Here we are using the shell, okay, the shell command line, and then we are using array set. So we are doing the same associative array here, and we have defined with 4 key and the corresponding value pair. Okay, so we are using array get command. Okay, it will get all the keys, right? So H2L, so it will get key value pairs, sorry, not the keys, the key value pairs it will get. So that will go store in H2L. So hash table to list. So that is what I have written in a short from H2L, and we echo it. So what will happen, that it will echo blue 4, white 9, green 5 and red 1. So all the key value pairs have come into the list H2L. So let's see if we reverse this H2L, what happens. So H2L is now reversed, and we are using the array set command. Okay, we are using the array set, that is L2H. Okay, L2H is the next the target array structure, associative array structure, which will eat up the list and make it associative array H2L. So this is we are using array set command, and then we are using the for each, because here now we will not print out, we have to see the key where key pair values are coming correctly. So in like previous, we are using the object and color, two variable less, and we are using array get command to get L2H, and we are iterating on them. So, and we are echoing them like this. Okay, and we are closing it. Once we execute this for each loop, right, what will happen, the key value pairs will be printed. So let's see, first one is correct, and second one is also correct, third one is correct, and fourth one is correct. So here we have seen the two ways that we can convert an array into a list, and we can convert a list into an array. Okay, but condition is that that should be key value pair, so the number of count should be even. So one key one value, one key one value kind of stuff. So the list should be even, otherwise the value will be maybe an undefined one. So I have not tried it, so you can try at your end what will happen. Okay, please don't forget to comment. We are done with this particular section, and let's move on to the next slide. Let's talk about the dictionary. Okay, this is not a dictionary that we are familiar with our English language. This is a separate thing. It's a data structure. Okay, we are talking about this in this particular section. So let's begin. So the dictionary here, let's see how we can do it. Let's know about it. In TCL 8.5, the dict command has been introduced. So dict is a command or procedure that creates the dictionary, and it has started from TCL version 8.5. So that's why in the beginning I was saying that dictionary is a much more latest data structure in TCL. This provides the efficient access to key value pairs. We have used the associative array as a key value pair, right? But dictionary is much more efficient and advanced. We'll see by examples later on. Okay, dictionary is like associative array, but order of the sequence is not important. That is another feature of this dictionary. Dictionaries can be passed on to a procedure. Okay, this is another benefit, they can be passed on to a procedure. Unlike arrays, dictionaries can nest dictionaries. So in the associative array, we cannot nest uh, uh, the one associative array inside another. Okay, list we can do that, we have seen, but not in associative array. Okay, not in associative array, but dictionaries come up with that feature. Okay, so that limitation of associative array has been overcome in dictionary. Hence, dictionary help you to build complicated data structures such as hierarchical databases. Okay, so once you can nest one dictionary inside another, you can build a hierarchical data structure. Sometimes that might be necessary. Okay, you can also combine dictionaries with other Tcl data structures. So dictionary can mingle with other data structure in Tcl. So let's begin. We are here showing an example of a dictionary. So here there is only the code. So here pink box is there. We begin with Tcl shell. Okay, and here this is how we create a dictionary. At the first we use the keyword set, then the dictionary name is ft, and within rectangular bracket we are using the dict procedure. Okay, and the create command. Okay, so dict create. Okay, to create the dictionary. Here we are using the key value pair of different types of file extension and their type or the name. Okay, so .txt is the key and the value is text. .jpg is image. .zip is a zip archive. .doc is a document. So here we have used four key value pairs, okay, to create a dictionary. This way we can use dict create, okay, this procedure to create a dictionary. And adding, if we want to add, we have done this, but if we want to add, right, we can do add more key value pairs. Okay, so dict set ft. Okay, dict set ft, this will add, okay, another key value pair, that is .mp3 is music. Okay, so these are key and value. So one thing here, because this is the order is not important, right, this is not getting appended, it is getting just included rather than. Okay, so we add another set of key value pairs, dict set, then ft is the name of the dictionary. Okay, dict set is the command, and we are using .avi as a video. So lot of file types and their names. Okay, extension and their names. So we are using dict for loop. Okay, for it is a special loop for iterating over the key value pairs in a dictionary. So dict for can be used in dictionaries. It cannot be used in any other data structure in Tcl. Okay, so let's see how we can do it. Dict for, then we give the key value pair. So it's a list. Ext I have shortened for the extension, and desc is the description. So ext and desc is the two different variables of the list for each key value pair from coming from the ft. So here dict for is used, and we are accessing key value pairs of the dictionary ft. And here once we get it, we will echo the description and the extension. So the value is printed first and the extension is printed next. Okay, so this is one way. Another way is that we can use the for each loop, the general for each loop. Okay, for accessing this particular data structure. That is not a limitation. We can use the for each command, and then we use the list, which contains two variables, ext and desc, and then we use the $ft. Okay, in the similar fashion we are printing out the same line and we are closing. So these are the two ways of accessing the dictionary elements one by one, and we have seen how we create a dictionary. So that's all with this particular slide. Let's see the what is the output. Okay, once we execute this code, okay, what happens here? At first we get text is .txt, image is jpeg, zip archive is zip, document is doc, music is mp3, video is avi. So all this comes. So This came from the first set of data came from the dict for, and next we are using the general for each loop, so that gives the same output. So either of them you can use for accessing the data structure. Let's move on to the next slide. We are checking dict exist. So this will check any particular key whether it does exist inside a particular dictionary or not. So here our code will be here. We start our code by the shell, okay, the Teckle shell. This is the continuation of previous code, and we set a list. Okay, we create a list. Okay, so this list is contains of couple of extension. So .txt, .org is org verbs, right? So .rar and .doc. So it contains 4 elements. Okay, let's now iterate over this list and see whether the elements of list, whether they exist in the declared dictionary. Okay, so for each dollar element of lst, okay, we are iterating over the list, and we will be checking on the dictionary, checking for la. Okay, so for checking the existence of a dictionary element, right, we use dict exist. So we are directly using it inside the if with the rectangular bracket where it will return the value. So if the value is a positive one, right, here what it will exist. Okay, so dict exist $ft. $ft is the dictionary name, and the $le is the element that we are checking whether it exists as a key, and we say it exists if the outcome is positive of the dict exist. Else we say this particular key do not exist, and we close it, and we close the for each loop here. So this is the way we can iterate over a list which contains some keys which are random, and we check whether all these random keys, whether any of them exist as a particular key of a dictionary. So outcome will be like this. First one, txt exist, org not exist, rar not exist, .doc exist. So we have clearly checked these random elements whether they exist inside a dictionary or not using the example shown below. So it's output. So it's done with this particular section. You can have a try and don't forget to comment. Okay, building a complex data structure. Okay, so dictionary is meant for a complex data structure. Let's see how we can do it. We start our example here. Here goes our code. First line is the shell. So creation of a complex data structure. So it will create an employee database. There is a 1:many mapping using dictionary. So one employee, and it will have many data around it. So let's see how we are going to do it. Data for one employee. Dict set employee, then we give the employee number. Okay, dict set employee info, and employee info is the dictionary name. Okay, and key is 1 2 3 4 5 -a, the first key. Code name is Joe, and then we write the same thing, and we write surname as Moy, and then we write the street as 147 short street. Okay, so this way we define the city, this way we define the phone number. Okay, here we are done with the first employee. So the data structure, you can see for one particular key how many hierarchy we are going. For that we are for particular key 1 2 3 4 5a employee code, we are saving that is forename, surname, street, city, and phone. So there is another level down. Okay, so forename is mapped with the value Joe, surname is Moy, and street is short street. Okay, like that. Okay, and we are making a database for another employee here. Okay, in the same way we are set employee info, and what we are doing, we are giving a particular key here which is 98372-J, and the four names is NA. Okay, so like that. Second, we define the surname, we define the street, we define the city, and we define the phone. So here another database of an employee is created. So there are two employees in the database, which is a complex data structure, and let's see. Okay, uh, this is how we have defined. So in this particular slide we are discussing the access of the dictionary data structure that we have just created. Okay, here goes our code. Okay, first line is the shell. This is a continuation of the previous code, and we print the employee info here. We set I with 0, then we puts in this particular print command. We are directly using the dict size to check the dictionary size, the how many keys are present. Okay, or how many actual pairs are existing with the dict size directly inside the rectangular bracket, and we are printing directly inside the puts. Okay, and then we are using the dict for. Then we are using a short list of two variables, that is id and info. Okay, we are using dict for, and then we are going to the employee info, and we here put command to print out the id. Okay, we are using the dict with info. Okay, this particular function or procedure. Okay, puts name, four names, and the surname. Okay, we are accessing dict with info for this particular employee id. Okay, so info is the value. So this value is also a hierarchical database, another kind of hash table. So from there we will access. So dict with will give the it will help to penetrate inside that particular data structure and give us the outcome. So again we are putting address, then dollar street and the city. So it will print out the street and the city associated with the particular employee name. So forename and surname. So these are, we are using directly the keywords here, and we are using with the dollar value, right? So it's a kind of very easy to operate in the dictionary, right? So, and the telephone is the dollar phone. So we closing here. So for each info, that means for each employee you are printing out this all the key values pairs. Okay, and we can directly access them with a dollar sign. So that's the beauty of this particular dictionary. And here we closing the first curly bracket, which is from the for, dict for. Okay, once we execute this, it will give the output like this. It will first print out there are two employees, that is we have checked how many elements are there or how many key value pairs are there in the dictionary, and then for the first one it will print out the name, address, telephone, etc. Okay, and the second employee, it will also print out the name, address, and telephone. So this way we can use the dictionary to iterate over the dictionary elements. This is the first approach. So let's move on to the next one. This is the approach 2, how we can use it. So here we start with our shell, and it is a continuation of a previous code. Okay, so let's go. It is another direct way to iterate and pick out names. Okay, given a dictionary key, the first argument, and the value as the second argument. Okay, this dict get will retrieve the value for that particular key. So these are just description I have written in the code as a comment, and here I am explaining it to you. Okay, we use the for each loop, and then we use the id. We use the dict keys command to access the keys of the dictionary, right, employee info. Then what we write, the set name, then we use the dict get procedure, and then we use the employee info, then id, then forename. So this way what we do, we first access the employee info dictionary, then the id means the next key, and then the next key is written as forenames. Okay, okay, and here is the surname. So we are getting outcome of this thing as in the two different variables, name and surn, okay, as the forename and the surname, right? And we are doing a puts command. So this way, it is a more direct approach, direct hierarchical approach you are using or we are using here to go up to a particular 2 level or more than 2 level down key and its corresponding value, okay. And here we are closing the for each loop, and if we execute this, this will come like this. The first, it will print the first name and surname pair, hello, and next is the second one. So this is another approach of accessing the dictionary elements. So guys, this might take some time to get familiar with these things for you. Request you to try at your end and create, and don't forget to comment, okay. Yeah, and that's all. We have come to the end of this particular episode, and don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and don't forget to comment. Thank you guys.